Hello, welcome to Long Island Weather Outlook and Update. It is January 12th. It was a sunny day. Now the clouds have kind of come in, and it was mild today. But things are going to be changing to a colder pattern after tomorrow, and really cold by next week. So, looking at the weather map right now, you can see we've got a low. First, this is going to be the first cold front that's going to be passing through tomorrow. It looks like two cold fronts, one a regular front and then an Arctic front behind that. That's going to be passing through tomorrow in the afternoon. And now there's an update. It says due to a water outage at our building, many computer systems have been shut down. Not sure where their building is, but I guess they're having some issues with computer updates here. This is a current update, though. So we'll see how things go as we progress in this update. Unfortunately, we've got red flag warnings again and high wind warnings in effect for LA, which is not good because that means the wildfire situation is probably going to get out of control again over there. Otherwise, relatively quiet across the country. Some lake effect snow warnings up along the lakes because we have another Arctic air mass moving in. But today was mild. Right now it's 30 in the mid 30s out there. We'll go and look at our highs for today. And for today, we had temperatures that got up into the 40s today. Yeah, 41 at Islip, so low to even some middle 40s in some spots, but that's slightly above normal. The lows, West Hampton got down to 21. Most of us did see lows in the 20s for the most part. Looking at our statistics for the day at Islip, the high was 41 and the low was 24. Just 1 degree above normal for the day. Still only 0.03 inches of precipitation, so it's been kind of dry this month. Haven't had a whole lot of precipitation, whether that be rain or snow, for that matter. Before I proceed, I just want to show you this graphic that the Weather Service put up for the 20. Took them a couple of days, but this is the year in review, 2024. So the warmest on record at Central Park in Kennedy, as I brought up to you in the back at the beginning of the month. And then second warmest at Islip and Newark. So yeah, it was a very warm year, but maybe this year. And look at the snowfall. Let's see, snowfall reported here. 13 inches. And actually, precipitation at Islip was 106% of normal. So even though we've been in a drought, Islip was kind of on the wet side until we got to the later part of the year. I wonder where those 13.7 inches of snow came from, though. So I'm kind of curious about, because I don't remember any snowfall. I guess it's just a bunch of little snowfalls that added up that, but that's still well below what we're supposed to see. So go to the satellite view for the country, and you'll see, this front doesn't really have a whole lot of moisture to work with for the most part. But there is colder air behind it because if we, I could keep this on the minimum temperatures just to show the colder air that's going to be coming in. You can see it in the Dakotas there. So that's the Arctic air that's going to be coming into the picture. And that is going to be bringing a big drop into temperatures. So let's take a look at our overall patterns here. Show you what's going to be happening here. So you'll see this week, kind of mild there. See that kind of zonal jet stream over us, but then we start seeing that dip happen this week a little bit. And then as we get into next week, that's when we're really going to start seeing some dips. And there's that storm. There are a couple of storms out there that are going to help pull in the cold air here. This looks a little different than the 12Z run. Just use the 12Z. All right. But you see that big trough that's setting up there, and that's going to bring in some really cold air. The coldest we've seen this season, I think. It's going to really be this is real genuine Arctic air. So if we look at the upper air, you can see what happens. We get our first trough come through, but then the second one is the big one. That's the big one. That's the one that's you can see that it's coming literally right from the North Pole of the air. So that's going to be bringing some pretty cold air. You can see there's the blocking Greenland again as well. Go to the 18Z run, see if we see any differences here. They're just slight differences for the most part. We'll look at the European. 12Z European. So yeah, you can see the European with that trough. The European's even more, like even stronger with it. Huge trough. So you can see there's a huge trough there. All right. So take it to the CONUS view. And we'll go and look at the surface now on the European first. So how this all translates at the surface. This week, we have 1 mile day tomorrow, and then you can see the northwest flow again, though the isobars are close, but not quite as bad as last week with the wind. But we'll have the cold air again coming down, and you can see it'll just be a series of cold fronts. Then here comes the storm that will bring us rain on Saturday. And then behind that storm, there are a couple of possibilities for, this is the European here, for snow as well behind that once we get into the Arctic air. And you can see there are a couple of possibilities. We don't know the exact track of these storms. But you can see that the Arctic air is going to be, you can see the way this whole thing looks, that it just has a really cold look to it. GFS, I'm going to go to the 12Z run here. This is the 12Z run in the GFS. There's your first storm. The GFS does not have that second storm forming. It has more of a suppressed look versus the European. This is, again, these could be some, again, opportunities for storms. These are way out, but there are opportunities for snowfall here. There are opportunities. All right, this is the 18Z GFS. The 18Z does show it a little bit, though it has the low kind of forming over us Sunday. So it looks, it has the pieces of energy are in different spots. But this could be a snow event here. So we have a couple of opportunities here in the long range. This week is going to be quiet, but next week things are going to get interesting, especially for those who want to see some snow. We have better possibilities because we've barely really gotten any snow so far this year. That is what it looks like on the GFS and the Euro as far as these storms go. And obviously, this is ways out. This is like next week kind of stuff. But as we get toward the weekend, we'll have a better idea of how these storms are going to track and how these different pieces of energy are going to come together here. You can see that it comes together on this run. But if we look at this run, the low is in a completely different spot, and there's no low that forms along the coast. If you look at the European, again, the European has the front coming through and then the low forming. So European looks kind of weird. I've never seen that kind of weird. Whereas looks like it has like a clipper dive down and then maybe spawn something there. All right. But this is again a ways out. All right. So keep that in mind. But one thing's for sure, it will be cold. So let's go look at the temperature anomaly chart. Now, you'll see what's going to happen here. So 1 more mild day tomorrow. And then you see those purples coming down. This is this week. This will be Arctic air this week. So we have the Arctic air this week will be below normal, and then a little bit of a reprieve by the weekend, and then here comes this huge Arctic outbreak that just encompasses the whole country. It's huge. This is huge. These temperatures are very below normal. Look at Texas next week. So this is the European. But if you're even all the way down in South Texas, you're going to be dealing with temperatures not getting out above freezing, even down all the way down to the Gulf. That's in our area. We're going to deal with temperatures in the teens and single digits with an air mass like this. So this is the kind of chill we're going to have here. It's going to be pretty cold. This is the kind of deep freeze we haven't had in a while. That's pretty much long overdue. Let's look at the GFS now. Go to the temperature anomaly chart. So this week, it's going to be chilly, but nothing crazy. It's next week. This is when you get this real Arctic air coming in. You can see how much bigger this whole outbreak is. It's huge. Pretty much everywhere east of the Rockies is getting it. and it's going to be with us for a while. So as far as a January thaw goes, no, it's going to get even colder than that. And if we look, we just go to the changes to the North American view. No, they got the laundry exhaust going again. You're going to have to just pardon me for a moment. I got to close the window. You have to do that before the fumes start really getting bad, because I hear it. It is a sound it makes. So here's the larger view of what's going on. So you can see where the cold air is coming from. Literally right from the Arctic. So it's coming literally right from this area right here. So that's pretty incredible, right? That's a pretty huge blob of cold air that's coming on down. So this is going to be some pretty chilly stuff. So that's what we're going to be dealing with. So one more mild day, and then we get cold again. So let's take a closer look at... Let me go back to the Weather Prediction Center here. Oh, yeah, it's right. There's some issues. All right, I'm not going to go back there. It's right. They're having issues, they said. All right, so let's go back to the models. And we'll take a look more at the short range as we head into tomorrow. Dry. We're not going to have any precipitation tomorrow. As you see, this Arctic front moves through dry. So it's going to be a rather dry week with no precipitation. Dew points and wind flow. You can see here we've got the west winds, light west winds tomorrow, staying westerly. But you'll notice the dew points start to drop as we head into tomorrow night. That's the Arctic air coming in. And on Tuesday, dew points will be down into probably the single digits again. Look at that Arctic air coming on through there. Temperatures, we're going to be up tonight, probably dropping into the low 30s, maybe upper 20s. And then tomorrow, we'll be in the 40s one more time. After tomorrow, we're probably not going to see 40s for a while, but we'll be in the low 40s. And then tomorrow night, the temperatures drop into the 20s. And then by Tuesday morning, you're probably around 19, 20 degrees. And then for Tuesday, probably only going to make it up to around 30. So, yeah, it's going to be a lot colder. So one more mild day, and then we get back into the cold weather. So looking at the skies for tomorrow, Tuesday, I can only go out probably this far. Let's see. It looks like the lines look pretty far apart on Tuesday to start. But we may have a cloud buildup by the afternoon that we'll have to watch for. But this looks actually like a pretty good graph, so hopefully we'll get some clear skies. Looks like they're a little closer together on Long Island, maybe more sun to the southwest, maybe. But I think everybody will start with sun. The GFS next. So here's your GFS. So you can see this Arctic air stays with us. Here we are Wednesday, still in the northwest flow. You can see there it will be breezy, but I don't think we'll have the same kind of wind speeds that we're going to be dealing with that we dealt with this past week. And then for Thursday, again, the winds go from northwest to west a little bit, and then we see a little more of a moderation Friday, but we still stay with that westerly wind. And I'll just take you into next week just to show you what that Arctic outbreak looks like. So we have some moderation on the weekend with chances for precipitation. And then, boom, here comes the Arctic air. And look at this Arctic air that comes in. You see how low these dew points are. They are low. All right. So this is that's Arctic air. I'm talking about dew points below zero. All right. Looking at your actual air temperatures. Again, this week we're probably not going to make it. We'll probably make it to close to 30 on some of these days here, but it's going to be a struggle to get to that freezing mark. And then at night, dropping into the 20s and teens. If there's radiational cooling, could get even colder than that. Though with the wind, it's still going to be breezy, so that might keep the temperatures up. And then Friday, we do see a return to temperatures going above freezing again. Same thing for the weekend. Maybe we even see 40s on Saturday. And then 30s by Sunday. And then here comes the next Monday. And then here comes the cold air. 20s, highs only in the 20s. Maybe even highs only in the teens some of these days. All right, this is the GFS here. All right. You can look at the 12Z as well, though I don't think there's going to be a huge difference here between the two. But I want to show you the Euro because the Euro looks a lot more interesting with these temperatures. So let's go to the European. So here we are. Here's the European. So again, you see that moderation on the weekend, but look at what happens next week. Again, Monday. Yeah, and then just look at what happened. Look at what happens Tuesday morning. Tuesday morning, January the 21st. Temperatures may only be around 0. Yeah, that's going to be frigid. And then for that day, we're going to struggle to make it to the teens. And Wednesday, similar deal. Thursday, similar deal. So this is going to be a deep freeze next week. It's going to be. We haven't seen this in a while, but it'll be cold enough to probably freeze over the bays and stuff. And I want to see that. Now, of course, I can't say what the sky is going to be that far out. We can look at a sounding just for laughs. It does show some clouds, but this is so far out on the sounding that it really would be very hard to make any kind of prediction as to what's going to happen here this far out. But this is going to be some pretty chilly area. Look at how crazy those graphs look. So it's that far out, it's almost impossible to say what's going to happen. But it doesn't really give us the dew points, does it? No, it does give us the wind. So I'm kind of concerned about wind speeds. Let's see what we got with wind speeds here. The good news is it doesn't look the winds will be too crazy. Yeah, there's a storm that's going by to the south on Thursday. Wednesday there. Tuesday, we got northwest winds. So northwest wind, but the winds don't look too bad. The storm would obviously be our concern right here. And again, if we were to look at this, you could see there's one storm. There's the European. You get brushed by it. This would be, let's go all the way back to the weekend here, right? Obviously, this week will be dry. Maybe a flurry Thursday night. Maybe it's showing something, but it's the weekend that we see. It looks like it's showing mostly rain, but it's the second storm system here. Might guess have a little snow that's right on. This is probably like the clipper that's going to bring the Arctic air here. And that could give us some snowfall. There's some opportunities here. With the Arctic, this is the GFS. A little more interesting. All right. This is the 18Z GFS there with that low right there. The track would have to shift further south and east for us to really get any snow with that, but there are some chances. So we'll have more information as you get later in the week. But let's talk about the next couple of days a little more in detail here. Skies, go to that. So go all the way back over here. Tomorrow, it looks like we'll have some clouds, some sun, and then Tuesday, hopefully mostly sunny. Hopefully we don't get stuck with a bunch of stratocumulus trapped underneath an inversion deal. And then Wednesday, it looks like we should see plenty of sun this week. Thursday is when we might see some more high clouds approach as we head more toward getting that warmer air advection aloft. But other than that, it doesn't really. It looks fairly sunny. We'll go to the RGM now. It's just the other model we can look at here. Here's the RGM. Looks like it starts off with clouds, some sun in the middle of the day, and then maybe some more clouds in the afternoon. And then Tuesday, it's really not showing much. It's showing maybe a little bit more toward the afternoon over Long Island, but it's all about that. Those lake effect streamers connect. There's a whole bunch of factors that go into it. Wednesday, again, looks like we'll have to watch for possible stratocumulus buildup again in the afternoon. So that's going to probably be a thorn in our side, and I'll have a better idea on that as we get to tomorrow night, I guess, and especially on Tuesday. So it's really hard to predict that stuff. Very hard. Sometimes it forms, sometimes it doesn't. It all depends on a number of factors. But it would be nice if we didn't have it. So let's go talk about the winds. Next thing is the wind gusts. Will we be dealing with any crazy winds this week? Well, let's go and look. This is tomorrow night. That don't look too bad. Let's look at Tuesday. No, not too bad. 30. It'll be breezy, but it's not going to be the kind of insane wind gusts that we had this past week. All right, here's Wednesday, Thursday. It's not going to be, the pressure gradient is not as tight as it was. So we're going to see a breeze, and it'll be breezy. It won't be those really blustery kind of conditions that we were dealing with. So that's the good news in all this. So last stop on this Long Island weather outlook is the climate update and Climate Prediction Center update. And you can see the 6 to 10 day, that big area below normal country. Of course, in the middle of the country is where it starts. Our area is on the fringe of that. They also have precipitation being above normal. because we will be getting some rain as we head toward the weekend. We'll have more detail on that as we get closer to that. But that could be an inch or more type of rain, which we could use. It's been very dry. And then the 8 to 14 day, that below normal shifts to the east a little more. The center of it shifts more to the east, and our precipitation chances are near normal pretty much. So that's what it looks like. One more mild day, and for the rest of us who want to get back to winter without a crazy wind, looking forward to it. So I like the cold weather, but that wind this past week, and then me getting sick on top of it. So I'm like 75% better, but I'm still got some of this cold left. But I want to get back out to the Pine Barrens. It's been 3 weeks since I was last in the Pine Barrens. Yeah, 3 weeks. The last real good hike I did was on December 22nd in New Jersey, and that was it. So have a great night. Thanks for watching.